Hello everyone, welcome to lesson 13, grade 8 mathematics. Alright, this was your homework exercise, example number 2, So we are told that let's find out 40 times 19 if we are given that 40 times 17 is 680. So we start off with this one. 40 times 17 is 680. So meaning that 40 times 18 is like we take this answer, then we just add an extra 40. Remember here, 40 times 17 means you are adding up 17 40s. So it's like you are saying 40 plus 40 plus 40 until they are 17. But now here, you don't have 17, you have 18. That's why I added an extra 40. And then 40 times 19, we just add up extra 2, because from a 17 to a 19, that's a gap of 2 40s, okay? So you add 2 40s to give you 760. So 40 times 19 should give you 760. Please confirm that on your calculator, but remember, in paper 1, there will be no calculator. So that's why I'm training you to start thinking like a calculator. All right. Let's go to today's work. Today's work, we are going to apply multiplication and division facts to multiply or divide decimals. Okay. This is something that we have done in grade 7. Okay. Just that here, we are now taking it to the next level. Okay. So let's say you are given this. There's an example here. It says here 0.05 times 7 gives us 0.35. How do I know that? This is what you know. You know that 3 times 7 is 35. Now this number in front is like divided by 100. 5 divided by 100 will give you 0.05. So you just multiply 5 by 7, which will give you 35, and then you divide 35 by 100. Okay, so the same thing with division. So let's say we want to find out 4.2 divided by 6, which will give us 0.7. What do we know? We know that 42 divided by 6 will give us 7. So since this was divided by 10, so this is like a 42 divided by 10, we should also divide our answer by 10 to get 0.7. Or otherwise, we can go back to grade 7 and remember what we were told there. Let's see. So this competency, like the one we did up, so 1.2.8, requires you to know your times tables and division facts. All right, you should know your times table. Unfortunately, you are expected to deal with these problems or these questions without a calculator in paper 1. So paper 1, you are not going to use a calculator, and you get questions like this. So you need to remember the decimal rule when you multiply decimals. So let's say you want to work out 0.2 times 0.3. So we know that the decimal rule says if the two numbers that we are multiplying, this one is one decimal, this one is another decimal, so the answer must have 2 decimals. Just like here, look at this. This one has 2 decimal places. So the answer must also have 2 decimal places. Just like here, this one has 1 decimal place, this one has no decimal place, so the answer must have 1 decimal place. So this is what we have done in grade 7. So if I am multiplying, let's say I'm multiplying 0.12 times 0.3, my answer is going to have 3 decimal places, because I'm multiplying a 2 decimal place by 1 decimal place. So 2 plus 1 will give me a 3. All right. Or otherwise, this is what you can do. I'm dividing this by 10. Or it's like you have divided 2 by 10 to get 0.2, and it's like you have divided this by 10 as well to get 0.3. So if you multiply 2 by 3, you get a 6. Just divide the answer by 100, because 10 times 10 is 100. Okay. All right. So since you will be expected to do this without a calculator, you need to convert the decimal fraction to proper fraction, to proper or improper fraction. So this is a step I'm going to show you how to do this without a calculator, if you don't want to think about what you did in grade 7 about the decimal rule. So I'm going to show you just that. So for instance, 8 times 6 will give us 48. So that's why I'm saying you should know your times table. When it comes to mathematics. You should know your times tables, you should know your division facts. So then 0.8 times 6 must give us a 4.8. So it's like, since we divided the 8 by 10 to give us 0.8, we should also divide the answer by 10 to give us 4.8. Okay. Now, there's another way to do this. There's a method called the Japanese method. So you can also use this go on the internet and find out how does it work. It's a very interesting method. So the Japanese people, they hardly use a calculator for multiplication and division with decimals. They just use that method called a Japanese method. All right, let us look at example number 1. We want to multiply 0.02 times 9. What do we know? We know that 2 times 9 is 18. Therefore, 0.02 times 9 must give us 0.18. Remember, this guy has 2 decimals. This one is no decimal. So the answer must have 2 decimals as well. Okay, let us use the fact that we are going to change this guy to a common fraction, 2 over 100. So 0.02 is 2 over 100. So if we do just that, we are going to have 2 over 100 times 9. Okay, and every time you're multiplying a fraction with a whole number, you can write the whole number as over 1, because 9 divided by 1 is just 9 anyway. Okay, so multiplying fraction, numerator by numerator, denominator by denominator. So if you multiply 2 times 9, you get 18, and then 100 times 1, you just get 100. So 18 divided by 100 will give us 0.18. Okay, so if you can't remember, if you can't do this mentally, then you should convert this to a common fraction. Let us go to example number 2. What is here? This time around we're dividing 0.15 divided by 3. So since 15 divided by 3 is 5, then 0.15 divided by 3 is 0.05. So 2 decimal places, the answer must also have 2 decimal places. Okay, now let us try to convert 0.15 to a decimal. So if we do that, we need to keep this as a division. So we insert equation division. Okay, and then we continue. This we can write that the 3, we can convert the 3 into a fraction by saying 3 over 1, because 3 over 1 is just 3 anyway. And every time you are dividing fractions, you must change the sign to multiplication, and then so you keep the first one as it is. So you keep the first, okay, I think I'm going to use this one because there's already multiplication. So you keep the first fraction as it is, and you change the sign to a multiplication, and you turn this one around, a reciprocal. So the 3 comes down, and the 1 goes up. All right, so the trick is you change this to a multiplication, and then you flip this one. We call it a reciprocal. Okay, so now we have 15 over 100 times 1 over 3. Okay, so now the thing about multiplying 2 fractions is that you can simplify across. So you can simplify this 15 with this 3. Okay, because the 3 can go into 15. All right, so if you can allow me to do that. Okay, but we cannot do it here. We cannot say 3 goes into 100 because of the division. We only do that with multiplication. Okay, paste. So 3 goes in itself once, and 3 goes into 15 5 times, and then 5 times 1 will just give us, come on, 5 times 1 will just give us 5, and 100 times 1 will also give us 100, so the answer should be 0.05, just like the way we got it here. All right, so my friends, I want you to try out 3.1 and 3.2. Okay, so that's your homework. Thank you for watching. Share the video and leave your comment in the comment box. Remember to come through via WhatsApp so you can show me your answers. If they are not right, I'll help you with the correction.